said millennials are leaving cars. I just smile like you really need to see the squad.
Hey, what's good, y'all? We want to welcome y'all to Disrupting Norm Live on Facebook. What's going on, y'all? What's
What
good,
up,
Gym
though?
Ministry?
Hey.
Yeah, you already know we got our special guest, Pastor Mickey, in the house tonight. What's up with you?
Hey, y'all.
Come on, TL,
What's up,
TL.
Tim?
Come on, PTL.
What millennials?
Gang.
What's up? What's the one after millennials?
Gen Z.
What is
Gen
after
Z.
millennials? That was Gen Z.
I know
I
my
say,
kids is
they got
one
so
of them.
many of them. Yeah, they got so many of them. I don't even know.
Well, the ones after you are important.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's where I got to tap into.
Yeah, definitely. So I know the matters of the heart this year has been a big subject for us, especially with our church at Faith's Head. So I want to ask your gym team, what's on your heart today, and even online. Let us know in the comments what's on your heart. Tell us what's up with y'all today.
Let's start with our pastor.
Pastor, what's good? What's on your heart?
What's on my heart? I heard it this week, and when I heard something, it resonated with me. Balance. I think being balanced right now. I think that, and they were speaking about life and church, that we've gone far left, and then they said we went far right, and they like people just need to just be balanced right now in this time and space. And when they said that, that resonated with my spirit. Like, yes, we need balance right now.
So then, when you mean like far left, far right, you talking about like in a political spirit or just like general?
I think that when they were specifically saying it, they were talking about spiritually, but when they said it, I thought about in every aspect.
Yeah, okay.
Politics, the way we live life, you know, work hard, no play. Moving, switching up, going, you know, grinding, no rest. You know, and so in every aspect, you know, you fill in the blank. There's just been this, we gotta go, we gotta do, we gotta push, we gotta move. And even with people that's chill, you know, like, nah, you gotta kind of, you know. So just that balance, I think right now is real important.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Oh, my bad. You go ahead.
Are you just gonna ask another question? I don't want to.
No, go ahead.
I think just to piggyback off that, I think people are in overdrive, overloaded, overstimulated. Because I do think people play, right? They have a little fun, but it's just like there's no level of there's no aim, I guess. I think a bunch of goals and a bunch of accomplishments, but it's like I think a lot of people are realizing that they're not as fulfilled in life as they need to be. So they're chasing this thing that isn't necessarily fulfilling them. So it's like I'm trying to find something that makes me feel better, essentially. And I think that people just even like when it comes to the political sector, like people just on the bandwagon. They don't even know what they're talking about. They ain't did no research. They just heard a couple of clips, seen some stuff, and was like, "Oh, I'm gonna do that." And the majority, I think we just have a society, unfortunately, that's just overstimulated and just very distracted. So I think to add to that, I think that stillness and that balance, I think is important because you can't get so wrapped up in what's going on and not have any foundation of like why you doing what you're doing. So
Can I jump in? You said very distracted. Distracted by what?
I think distracted by outside noise, inside noise, in between noise, anything really. Your phone, your what you think is
Busyness.
best, yeah. What you like,
Yeah.
oh man, this goal. I gotta be out here. I gotta stack these chips. I gotta hustle. I got do, 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 do. You know, a bad beat, whatever it is, is there. Y'all. So I think that it's just super important just to really find foundation of like what's your value,
Mhm.
and what is your foundation, not what you think you know, but really dive deep and find within yourself like what keeps you centered.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So
Mhm.
yeah.
Yeah. And I think like the interesting about that, like even thinking about what keeps you centered, like when y'all were talking about that, I thought about how much changes, right? Like in our lives, we
Right.
go through changes, things change around us. And sometimes, a lot of times, we try to use like old tools, today. Like, and they don't even work today. Like, you might have been real grounded, or you might have been real balanced, where yesterday I used to do this, and it worked yesterday, so I'm gonna try it. And I've even this is like even personally for me, like a lot of the things that I did in singleness or in my last season or at my last job or whatever the thing was, and I try to use that to ground me or to center in it. Lord, like, yeah, I'm really trying to break you out of that because like I was there. And so just like I think having a growth mindset is important and being humble enough to not be stuck in your ways. Cause like
Mhm.
we find balance, sometimes we use different things to cope or to balance. And I think really just being like open to new, like it's a lot going on, but being centered and being grounded like is important regardless of all the other factors that's going on around you, regardless of what people saying. And so I think it's super important. I do agree with you, that's super important to be balanced, but like really understanding how to do that and changing times I think is important too.
You
Yeah.
said something so important. You said what worked in my singleness is not working here.
Mm-hmm.
And it could be old job, new job. It could
Yep.
be when I was single, before I became a mother, now that I'm a mother. It's like whatever it is, before I had a boo, now I got a boo. It's like we still be trying to be our best thing that we was without realizing we're trying to put new wine into an old
Mm-hmm.
wine skin. You were the best Mike then, but the minute you said I do,
Mm-hmm.
now you need to build on being the best husband. And people say this without totally losing yourself, but the truth is you will lose
Yeah.
yourself
Mm-hmm.
biblically,
Mhm.
because that's what God tells us, that a man needs to die to himself so that he could be what he's supposed to be for his wife. And people don't want to do that. They
Mm-hmm.
don't want to lose themselves.
Listen, I'm so glad you brought that up because
Mhm.
I think that's a struggle for all of us. I had actually made a post about like my struggle with that like a week or so ago. But like, my thing with the scriptures, and that's what the post was about. Like we say die to yourself, we say carry your cross, we say deny yourself, all this stuff. But a lot of times we don't really teach like what that looks like in real life. You know what I'm saying?
The
Like, and so it
practicality.
sounds real abstract. And you could be like, oh, I'm denying myself. And you really just eliminating a little comfort, but you're not really dying to yourself. So, like, what does that look like?
You
I
said
gotta go.
eliminating a
Yeah.
little comfort. That's real good.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, that's real good. So, and I just want to say, y'all really talking right now. Y'all really ministering to me, like for real, because that's actually one thing. Like I was even gonna bring up was on my heart is just the busyness and just the hustle and bustle, just the everyday life. So,
Yeah.
even for me this year, I've done a lot. Like I completed a fellowship, going through my last year of classes. Responsibilities that the church and ministry and all that. And it's just like I was saying, it's just been so so busy. Even right now, going through my last couple classes, and feeling like you struggling, but still doing good. Still hanging on.
Mm-hmm.
But I think I'm really having trouble just finding the balance, just feeling anxious. And the thing is, like, I prayed for days like this where I'll be busy, where I'll be busy and having to do stuff, getting chances to grow. But at the same time, it's like a feeling of it's just too much, a lot going on. So even my prayers, like just having to give a lot of it to God, like it's a lot of growing pains, growing pains, and like everything that I feel like I'm doing.
Phil, you wanna know what's good about that? Like when you're talking about growing pains and you praying for something, the beautiful thing about it is growth is always new, right? Like you can pray for something, you can want something, you can desire something, and not be ready for it, right?
Yeah.
Like most things new, you can do all the training, you can do all the counseling, like you're not going to be ready for it. And I think the reality is a lot of times God is trying to stretch us, and stretching to me, I think, and we had this conversation, but stretching, like there's going to be, think about stretching, it's some stress, right? When you stress, you're stretching. So it's going to be some, and really finding out how to balance that and stay grounded, I think is important. But also to be okay with being under a little bit of pressure and like learning how to manage that, I think is important. Because I think a lot of times in our society, we say, oh, it's a little stress or it's a little stretch. You got to remove yourself. And sometimes like sit in it, be okay with having this because this is temporary. So that's, I think, also like an interesting perspective on like the growth and being busy or being stretched for sure.
Mary, what you got? You look cool.
Nah, y'all saying a lot of stuff that I can agree to. One of the things that just like Phil, we both in the same boat rowing with that masters. And I started at the beginning of this year and it's literally been every 6 week, a different class. And
Yeah.
I had to like slow down and take a lot of things off my plate that I was doing. And realized like I've been a straight A student so far. Only got like one A minus, right? So it's just like just killing it, but realizing that tension and the pressure that I feel is necessary for the time. Just doing ministry with y'all. And I was reflecting maybe a couple weeks ago, and the growth that I had has been because I have centered myself around people who actually want to see me grow.
Major.
Not just being a strong friend, but realizing I have my weaknesses and I need somebody to be strong for me too sometimes. Pretending that I'm okay when I'm not, and being okay with saying I'm not okay, right?
100%.
Right. So just in this season, like Mike hit it on the head, and Pastor said it too, which was like even when you single, like and you're dating or you have a significant other, even then you gotta get comfortable with the idea of being uncomfortable because you're still learning who you are in that relationship and building. uh just FYI, Bishop over there talking to in the chat room. So he'll just I must just put this out there too. He said eliminated a little comfort. And then he also said in conditioning, strengthening. I can't even talk today. Stretching strengthens and conditions one for the upcoming task.
Yeah.
So yeah, for me, it's been like a being comfortable with being uncomfortable in this season, and realizing that I still need to grow, and there's so many things that I thought I had under control, and I'm realizing through a relationship that you need to go back and unpack some stuff because maybe you just pushed it away instead of with actually dealing with it.
Yeah.
So that's the matters of the heart for me at the moment.
Yeah, but even going back to what Bishop was saying, sometimes I even think like what is next? Like what is it preparing me for?
Mm.
It,
Sometimes
it,
we don't have to even deal with next. How about we deal with the right now?
Yeah,
Because sometimes we're so ready for what's next,
yeah,
we're missing the opportunity to do what's now.
Mhm.
100%.
And I know we're future oriented. I know, but we can't miss the present.
mhm.
And so we gotta sometimes in that rush to get to the finish line, we still gotta be present in the moment to figure out what's needed now.
Yeah.
Cause it's gonna come up eventually. I think either T Money or Pastor wanted to say something.
Go ahead, T.
We heard from Burgess, but I'm messing with people.
I'm coming. Natural
What's up,
flow.
T?
So I want to say something too, because a lot of times we measure previous seasons from our measuring stick, right? So we say stuff like, "Oh man, this worked. This actually worked," and it probably didn't work. The reality is, a new season will always challenge a thing, because God. The thing about it is, every season, God is trying to grow you up. So
Yeah,
there's obviously some things that He don't like. So He's trying to get it out of you, and I think a lot of times we try to be like, oh, we had a better season here, or kind of try to say like the season of singleness, or the season of just like where it was a lot of comfort food
oh yeah.
was a
Helps
lot
me.
better
Okay.
than
Mhm.
just like the new season. That's because you wasn't being challenged. I remember going to a school in 7th grade. I literally was done with my work in like 5 minutes. And my mom was like, you can't go to this school anymore. You have to go to a school where you are challenged. And I'm like, why? And I understood, because I'm not growing. I'm not evolving. But I'm thinking like, well, I could kick it here. I could have a good time. I could socialize. And she like, that ain't why I sent you to school. So I think the key is stop looking at so much in the past and just embrace discomfort. I think when you begin to embrace it, you begin to flow through it a lot better. And I think that we as people need to be comfortable with going through transitions. So, yeah.
I kind of want to rest here for a minute, because Mary said, you just said something that was powerful. Mary said something that was powerful. And you said unpack. And I know Angela, she got to keep taking on hats, putting them off, taking on. But Phil said something that kind of spun us all here. Mike said growth is always new. I had to write that down. Phil said you feel like you're struggling, but you actually are doing good. If we could just rest there.
Yes.
Yes, I'm struggling while I'm working on this master's, Mary, but you working on the master's.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yes, we may be bumping heads while we dating, but you're dating.
Because remember, Mary, it used to be stuff in the pool way back then.
Come on.
Right. It had floaties and everything. Jesus.
Hello.
I wasn't even trying to get into the pool. I was just like, you know what? I'ma just go someplace else. I'ma just go home.
I'm not seeing eye to eye while I'm married, but I'm building. And two are becoming one. And but you where you're at, and it's good and it's great. And it's because we're being stretched. As you said, it's because growth is new. And I was telling somebody the other day, I was like, when we get somewhere new, we like, hey, this don't feel right. This don't look right. This don't. That's because it's new.
Yep.
Right.
Yep.
It's not supposed to be comfortable. It's not supposed to feel the way that old felt, because it's new. But we're always so uncomfortable in sitting and stuff. Mike said that one Wednesday, it went with the lesson, but he was like, man, help our patience
Man.
because we think we're patient until we have to be patient.
Right.
100%.
Mm-hmm.
I thought I was the most patient person in the world until I had children. And I realized how not so loving or not so patient that I was. And I realized that God put these little people in my life to really teach me that unconditional agape love. And I heard this the other day, and I'm going to be done. They said we've mastered phileo love, which is brotherly love.
Mhm.
We have not mastered agape, God, Christ-like love.
Right.
We know how to, I'm about to go out with my brother, my boy, my girl, you know, that brotherly, sisterly love. But when we got to love unconditionally, those ugly places, that part, the matters of the heart, is what God, where he's taking us at right now. So, yeah.
Man, there's levels to this.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
All right, Burgess, you're up.
All right, AB,
Okay, I'm
Angela
coming.
B.
I'm coming, y'all. Let me
Tell us
stop.
what's on your heart.
So I feel like I don't have a lot of words, but then I feel like I have a lot of words.
Mhm.
So what's been on my heart is like I identify with what a lot of people are saying. Feeling overwhelmed, feeling like I have to do everything all at once. And I constantly find myself just praying to God, like just yielding. So yielding is not a stop, right? It's like I'm trying to yield because I feel like you said, I was praying for suddenly. Y'all know I like my words every year big. Suddenly, every time I see suddenly, I got y'all texting me when y'all see suddenly because I've been suddenly.
Suddenly.
That is so much, yeah.
And then I was in a suddenly season and I was stressed out. And I was like, okay, I know I asked for I knew I asked for it. So where I'm at is just I know different things. Like I hear God talk to me. I know like prophetic words that were spoken over me. I know that where I'm at is where I'm supposed to be. Because a lot of things that are happening, it's like, oh, that's nobody but God. But I just want to make sure that anything that I'm attached to is from him. It's not busyness, it's not distractions. I also want to fast forward through this part sometimes. Like, can I just get to the part where it's established? Can I get to the part where I'm not questioning? Can I get through the part that's the difficult conversations? Can I just get through this stuff because it's easier? But I also know in the back of my head from life experiences that getting to the next thing doesn't buffer the feelings we have. It's just a part of it. So I used to think if I could just get in a relationship, then I won't no longer be sad. No, you could just be sad in a relationship. You know, we look for the next thing. Like if I could just get here, things will be better. If I could just make 100K, I won't have financial struggles. Well, more money, more problems. So just trying to always, even to like what Pastor said, is like I'm yielding to the present and trying my best to be present. So that way I don't miss what I'm supposed to get in this season, being so preoccupied with wanting to be in the next one. So like I said, I got a little words, but I got a lot of words, which I know I'm good with words. So it's like that's the best way I could describe it. Like just trying to be like, I often feel rushed and irritable because I'm stressed out. Then I feel like I miss stuff and am I being my best version of myself to those people around me because I'm stressed and irritable now? Am I being ungrateful because it's what I prayed for and now I'm in it? But giving yourself grace, like you said, I'm building a brand that I didn't know it was gonna be this, y'all. I didn't know what to call it before. It's like growing like a wildfire. But that's what God called me to do, so I'm gonna just yield to whatever's supposed
I
to
like
happen.
this word
But you
that you're
know,
saying, yield.
Yeah.
I'm really because think about in logical terms, like a yield is not a total, like it's slowing down to see what else is going on around you before you proceed. And a lot of times we don't take that moment just to slow down and to see what's going on, and that's when we miss the vital things. Um and I think that's where oftentimes when we end up stopping when there's no stop sign. Maybe you could have yielded, maybe you could have slowed down, maybe you could have, you know, did other things, but a total stop is not what you were supposed to do. And that's what I noticed that people tend to do during the process of being under pressure or tension.
Mhm.
It's like okay, going back to what we said in the beginning, I got to get rid of this instead of identifying and saying, hold up, what's going on around me? So I love how you said that.
Yeah, thank you. See, I was coming, y'all.
So one thing I say to Angela is like, I don't know why you surprised, because you got plenty of words that said what you was gonna be doing right now. But what I always say that you was always pray that God keep you in the in between right now, and then the manifestation of fully when everything is gonna happen.
Yeah,
you already know
just
it's a
be
lot
like,
of stuff that
what's
could.
the ETA? Is it en route?
Right.
Is it delayed? But I think it goes back to what Mike said with us having and seeing other people be in the shoes that we're in. Because you can see God moving in my life. You could have heard the prophetic word and like, oh, that's amazing. Look at God doing it. But then stuff comes with a prophetic word. Stuff comes with the gift. Some comes with the anointing. Like things come with it. But just being transparent in the in between to be like, yeah, I knew this was it, but I'm right now, right? Like, so
Look, that's so good, because it's not just being transparent, it's being honest with yourself and with others. And like Mimi said, it's like having community, right? Like, so I just think those things is so important, because even to like the point of what you were saying about you were going through this, or you had these tools, but really like that wasn't even working in, right? Like, so sometimes you don't know something not working because you have blind spots. You know what I'm saying? And unless you honest with yourself and honest with other people and have some transparency in your community, a lot of that stuff you just gonna keep dealing with. And then you might be blaming it on the enemy. You got, it's this crazy world, you blaming it on all the other stuff, and without like enough humility to really look in the mirror and like you said, like maybe yield a little bit, slow down, and really look like what's going on. I think you kind of put yourself in a cycle, and then you like, why I'm not progressing and all type of stuff. So man, that was just good. Like that part about being honest and transparent.
I like when Mary said that she doesn't always have to be the strong person.
Right.
100%.
And even if you you don't have to be weak to realize that, but still it's great. I think you all are great. And having that affirmation, maybe today y'all needed to hear it. Maybe tomorrow Mary needs to hear it. Next week Phil gonna need it. In a month Angie, like just knowing when it's that season. That goes back to where I started off with balancing. When you're talking about putting weight on scales, and it's too weighty over here, you got to take something off so it can balance out. So when you're talking about the balancer, you just got to know what side needs a little weight at that time. So you can all be strong, and our community can be strong, and everybody in our family, in our circles. I mean, in a perfect world, we could say we all are great. And we really are through Jesus Christ. If people would just walk in the purpose and the anointing that God has given to them. But if we all walking in what we saying, I'm doing good this week, so I don't need that rah, hey. But in a month, I may.
Right.
So we just got to be sensitive and going to that keyword yield. And I said that Sunday, and Angela wasn't even there, so you in the spirit. I talked about building Sunday.
Amen.
And so just learning to be sensitive enough to what's needed right now. What do we need? What do I need right now, today, to be successful today? I know that I've planned for the future. I know next week is planned out. I know I got all this stuff to do. but Joyce Myers got a whole book on it. Enjoying where I am on the way to where I'm going.
Mm-hmm.
Because we don't
Mhm.
stop to smell the flowers and to smell the roses.
Mm-hmm.
So yes, we got all these beautiful things planned out, but we'll be constantly living in tomorrow instead of just enjoying where we are. So it's a lot to learn about living.
For sure.
It
Because
is.
everybody is not promised 80 years old.
Yeah.
Mm.
So what
Yeah,
if you live the best 25, 35, 45 years of life?
that was a good 35, 45 years of life.
Yeah,
Like
life.
that was all, like so I know I don't feel this way anymore. So this could speak to like people who also are watching is that imposter syndrome that shows up when you feel like because you're in this role or you have this title that you can't insert whatever here. As our pastor, you can't do this. As a leader, you can't be this. As a strong friend, you can't be weak. And it is being truthful. Like I know I have a strong village. I text Sasha one day. I was like, "You want to pray?" I was like, "I don't got it. Like I can pray, but I need somebody else to pray." Because but I used to feel like I'm supposed to have this stuff all together because I'm insert whatever here, but then that's pride. Like so showing up transparent to yourself first is really to me like one of the most vulnerable things you can do because we think vulnerability starts with other people, but it really starts with you.
Mm-hmm.
So then we talk about matters of the heart, like who are you with you? Love is patient and love is kind. Are you that with you first?
Real good.
That was good.
I got
Real good.
the apostle Rachel me. He's tuning in. Hey, he said mindfulness, recognizing where you are right now and being okay with it.
Mm-hmm.
That's definitely
Is that
something.
a therapy? Is that a therapy term? Because I've been hearing that a lot lately, and it's not new, but more people are tapping into that mindfulness.
Oh,
Yeah, I
go
think
ahead, Phil.
I think it might be. I know it's more it's getting popular. But I associate it with just being present as well.
Yep. Present and intentional for sure.
Who are you to you?
Yeah.
No, notice the time that I hear the word mindfulness, a lot of times is during meditation. So I do a lot of guided meditation, so
Yeah.
I hear that a lot. So it tells you like go within yourself, feel where the vibrations are or at in your body, and just like honing in on where you're at in that moment. So that's where I hear it mostly. But I thought it was like Pastor said, it's
Yeah.
a psychological term or a therapy term.
But have you ever used like the mindfulness on your Apple Watches? Whoever have
I
one.
just miss that so often.
So
Yeah, use
I've
Calm
done it.
app.
yeah, and it's really
Nope.
just
It's dope.
you just take what I think it's like 5 minutes, and just breathe,
Yeah.
and it guides you through through breathing.
Yep.
It'll definitely bring you back into the present. And I love it. I tried it because I had just got my Apple Watch. I remember it was like back in April. And it was like it gave me this little alert. So I just did it. And I was like, huh, like this actually kind of cool. Because I was in that day, I had so much going on. I was there, I was at church, I had running errands, I was with the boyfriend, I was everywhere. Oh yeah, sidebar. Shout out to the boo, Peter. It's his birthday
You
today.
better shout out to
Is
It's
Pete
All right,
watching?
man, happy
Pete
birthday.
watching?
yeah.
Hey Pete, you Pete? It's Pete.
Happy birthday.
Aw,
But
happy
yeah,
Aw,
I
you
had
would
to
have
make sure I
brought him
said that.
on. Y'all gonna have to
Listen,
bring Pete on.
listen, you wasn't even here when we had this conversation earlier. That was
I ain't saying I said that, Pastor, but I ain't saying I
But
ain't
you said that.
I ain't
Yeah.
saying I ain't say it.
I like Pete.
like
Hey, cool.
he's
He's
cool
real.
people's chill and laid back.
Yeah.
But if you talk to him, he'll chat with you. Um, I got off into my little sidebar and I
Well,
forgot what
you
I
was
was
talking
about
about
to say.
mindfulness.
Mindfulness.
You was talking about you had
Mindfulness, and
Yeah.
okay, yeah, and I remember just being everywhere that day, and I remember just getting alert, and it was just like it made you sit down all day. Now y'all got the prophet going. Um, sit down and just meditate and just be mindful of where I was at in that moment. So let me go ahead and put what prophet said real quick. He said, "Wow, am I being patient, kind, not puffed up, not keeping a record of wrongdoing against myself?" And
Mhm.
then I'm gonna just put that what he said. We like Pete. Everybody
So
said they like Pete.
Yeah, you cool.
listen, the reason why I think that's good with what you were saying, even him asking that question, is because it's so necessary. And not only is it necessary, like, you know, it's a biblical teaching, right? Like, to meditate, right? Like, that's kind of what we're talking about, right? Like, meditate on my word. And that's scripture. And most of us, like, we hear a lot of people we talk about praying, we talk about reading, you know what I'm saying? We like praise and worship. But for me personally, being still and doing breathing exercise, you know how hard it is for me to be still? My wife, she probably, you know, she could tell you, like, I just do not like being still, but it's so important to, like, I was doing that for a while, and sometimes I still do, but in the morning, just being still, like, maybe a lot of times I'll do it after I read or sometimes after I pray, but just really being still, like, to sit and listen to what's going on and just to be aware, like, how you feeling and what's going on in life. But just like how you started off the conversation about balance, that's a really grounding practice, like, because life is so fast paced. If you're not building a business and you're not doing all this stuff, like, most people have a lot going on. It's just so much going on. So I just think it's necessary for us, even just for our health, to take that time and pause and just to meditate and to be mindful with so much stuff going on.
Mhm.
It's so much stuff going on, but like Phil said, we still think we're not doing good. Why do y'all think that is?
Listen,
You know, it's just what it feels
It's the
like.
pressure.
I
You
got
know,
a lot.
it's just what it feels like. It's a lot of pressure. It's a lot of
Because
anxiety.
you're not
keeping
where
up with
you
the
want to be in
Joneses.
this very moment. And because you're not where you want to be, you're not doing good. If I wanted to lose 30 pounds, I should lose 30 pounds today. And it's like, so I'm doing bad because I'm not 30 pounds lighter. It's not true. You walk in regular, you eating right. It's literally our lack of patience, really, because it's like I must be doing bad because I'm not where I want to be right now.
Right.
So I'm doing bad. And it's like, well, it's a journey. It's a marathon, not a sprint. But I should be able to sprint to finish the race. And it's like, but it's not a sprint. Like, you're measuring it by the wrong thing.
But who gave you that measurement though?
Mhm.
Like,
But that's
where's
why,
that?
Society, possibly.
Like, I was having a
Go faster,
conversation with
go
someone, and
hard.
we were talking about, like, where do we get this sense of measurement from, or this thought process that we can't do something, or it has to be, or it has to look like this. The only way that happens is if you're comparing something,
Mhm.
um and what your level of comparison is, you have no clue of what that person did to get to where they were in order
100%.
for you to. So it's like that level, and I must be in the vein right now because prophet said comparison, other people are accomplishing whatever. And I think that's just really what it is. We don't think we at a certain place in life, so then we're comparing to what we think that we should be at, even though that may not be the case.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
I totally, that's what I was trying to say about keeping up with the Joneses. I just believe our generation is a lot less patience. You know, like, we have Instagram and we could just swipe and we could just order DoorDash and, you know, like, all the things we can do, like, really
Instant
quickly.
gratification.
Exactly. Instant gratification is at an all-time high. And I think that's even like how we cope. We want something now. Like, how can I get rid of this feeling? How can I change this? And I just think, like you said, Mary, like, it's so easy to just post your highlight reel. And then you looking at their highlight reel like, dang, their life is so good. And they accomplished this and they did this. And then here's the thing. Not only, Mary, do we not know what they did to get there, half the people faking about being there. you're not really there. You're
But
not
why?
really as emotionally stable. You're not really emotionally
Oh,
intelligent.
wait.
You really don't have that money that's a
Oh,
rental
get
you live in.
him.
Now
You know
this
what
a
I'm saying? You're really
rental.
not spiritual because you're posting scriptures. Let's be real.
Mike,
That's
you
why I
didn't
made
have to
that
go
post,
hard
man.
on these people like that.
You went hard.
I'm just
have to
saying.
What
do
the
it.
young
I'm
people
just
say?
like,
Am I saying this in the right context? Clock it. See,
Clock
clock
it.
it.
Clock
Yeah,
it.
That's
you
tell
did.
pastor.
That's what he did. That's what
No,
he
but for real. It's
But
something.
that's what I was saying about being honest with yourself, because
Yeah.
you can even post your own highlight reel, and then when you're not feeling like your highlight, you think
Yes.
you wrong. You be like,
that part.
I'm
That
comparing
part.
myself to me a day ago. I'm comparing to myself a month ago. Like, I'm not where I was a year ago. I'm in a whole different space than I was September 25th, 2024. But you think because either you was good this time last year, you bad now. It's like you even compare yourself to your old version of yourself,
Yep.
and it's like growth is new. Is that not what we had just said?
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
Man.
it's tough out here, y'all, but we be
Well,
making it though.
not as hard out here.
It's hard out
I
here.
can't finish the
All right,
rest
y'all.
of
So,
it.
It's hard out here for a pimp.
what else is on your hearts today?
You know, I'm gonna say it. I'm the queen of shenanigans.
I gotta say this, Phil, before you move on, because y'all spent a lot of time on comparison. And tomorrow evening, so I'm giving y'all a sneak preview. I'm speaking at an event, and it's about the finish line. And when most people think about the word finish line, it is associated with a race. And one of the things that disqualify you is when you go into somebody's lane. And when you are running your race and when you're living your life that God has for you,
Hello.
you got to stay focused on the finish line.
This is
Yep.
good.
We cannot afford to compare ourselves to other people. Your life, the way you got your degree, your marriage, you cannot, in no way, you cannot afford to compare yourself
Yeah.
at all. You would disqualify yourself. And Bishop always tell us, don't disqualify yourself. Don't do that. Don't disqualify yourself. And so I just want to share that with you, because comparison really is the thief, of your joy. It takes away you from finishing, because you knocking out, you spending all this energy trying to, you going in that lane and just run the race that God is
Yes.
giving to you. And you got to know at the end of the day, his word says the race is not given to the swift nor
Come
to the
on.
Mhm.
Mary.
Mhm.
We don't always have to be strong. He just said endure. He said finish. That's
Yeah.
all the Bible commands us to do.
Yep. Like Elder
So
Tavia
good.
said yesterday, you gotta know the word, because really it's all in there, but I don't know. Y'all see, that's why I be quiet at
That's
first.
good.
I
No,
get to
that's
talking a
good.
whole lot. I'm gonna be quiet.
Give us little tidbits.
I'm
Right.
gonna be quiet. It's good. It's good. It's good. That's all.
I need your therapist mindset.
Mhm.
It'd be a lot little. It's good. So thank you for sharing for sure.
So don't be
But-
quiet.
So,
Mimi, was you about to say something about
So what else on
what's
your
going on with your heart?
What you say,
Me?
Mike?
yeah, you
No,
and Mary.
I already went.
Okay. I thought you was trying to say something. We cut you off. My bad.
When she was talking
No.
about school, that's
Mhm.
when she was talking about her heart.
I thought she had something else. You got something?
Did you say something, Mike?
No, I kind of piggybacked on yours. So
Okay,
for
I'm looking.
me, I guess for me, like what's been on my heart, I've like been going through a lot of exposure, like of myself and like who I am and the different things I deal with, my processes and coping and all the different stuff. And then having all that information was cool, but I'm like, dang, what do I do with it? And then just like working through that, like how this is who I am. Some of this stuff is who I was, and I'm still trying to hold on to it, and all while becoming whoever God wants me to be. And that's been like a whole process. And then doing all that, obviously, like with another person, like have been crazy. You know what I'm saying? So really just like not.
And Tashima ain't having it.
You know, she should. She's here. That's like, I believe, one of the reasons, you know, like that, you know, she here. Like she's exposed to some of that stuff. Like we said, some of that stuff that worked yesterday, some of this you was coping, whatever, all the different stuff, man. And just really like being okay with like, okay, this is exposed. Now, how do I move forward? How do I grow? How do I build healthy and coping mechanisms? Do I need to be coping at all? Or do I just need to sit in this? Or like, how do I process even just my emotions? Like, okay, process that, like, and sit in that and resolve that. And so, yeah, it's been a lot, man. Just like a real season of exposure and learning like how to process certain stuff differently, like in I guess a healthier way. Yeah.
I think for me it's been just intentionality and consistency, right? Because my consistency will fall off if I, you know, something happened, my emotion is not intact, and just being intentional about. And this is what I kind of wanted to talk about before we got on this, but do we really know God's plan? Because it's very, I think we can't really move or have any kind of go or anything unless we know God's actual purpose for our lives. That helps us be intentional about what we need to start at. Okay, he gave us a little of the vision, because I don't feel like God gives you the whole vision. That's just, I just don't think he does that.
Right.
But he gives you steps. And I think that we have to be comfortable with taking those steps. And a lot of times it's easier to pick up the comparison and everything. But I think a lot of times it's a lot harder to do that when you actually know that you're on your path. And I think a lot of times we don't really sit down long enough to really get the instruction from God of like, what do you have? What would you have me to do? What is your plan for my life? And I think when we have that plan, we can move accordingly. So I think the matters of my heart is just being intentional about what God has given me rulership over. And really stepping into that authority and really focusing solely on that and not trying to add extra things to my pot. Because then I can get scattered, then I can get flustered, then I cannot finish something. The thing about it is you want to finish. You don't just want to start, you want to finish. So I think the key is to be intentional about what God is giving you. So that's just been, you know, my battle. Even with, you know, I ain't never been married before. And every nerve, you know, you be like, oh.
I'd have got on all of them.
Like, I didn't even know this was a nerve. I'm not saying that, but you know, just learning how to navigate somebody else's personality outside of my own. That's not a hard thing all the time, but it's an interesting thing because I don't have a visual of what that looks like. I didn't have a rule book, a strategy map, a flare gun, or nothing.
Like this.
Listen, can't even swim, girl. Can't even swim. But just
listen, I'm tickled at the fact that Mike is over there playing with your nerves like he on the jungle gym, just like swinging from one bar to the next. Just
yeah.
But we talked about the word stretch. That's stretching her too.
Yeah.
And the thing is, it's not just one way. It's not that you not getting on Mike nerve, right? Like it's
his whole nerve.
It might just be like, no, babe. He may just be like,
he say I get on his nerves.
Right? Like,
it's the beauty of becoming one.
Yeah, but I like what you said, like about like just like having plans and then getting plans from God, like making sure you kind of doing his plans. And obviously, you know, I thought of a scripture, right? Proverbs 19:21. You already know, Pastor.
That was good.
it says many are the plans in a person's heart, but it is the Lord's purpose that prevails. And
Right.
so, like, God gives us vision, he speaks to us, he'll show us something. And I think that's good. But even like with the vision, you got to walk it out. Like, you don't know how he wants to bring that to pass. And so you got to kind of stay in his space and put one foot in front of the other. And so I kind of connect what you said with the conversation we were having about just like rushing and trying to achieve and trying to do. And because it's like, I think we try to take 5 steps at once a lot of times. You know what I'm saying? We want to leap. We want to skip. Nobody want to, you said it take endurance. Pastor said take endurance. Like, we don't want to be patient. Like, when we try to do, like, I for sure know this about myself. Like, I'm just trying to do, and I get ahead of myself a lot of times. Like, put one foot in front of the other, like, because you're going to miss what God, like, he trying to get something in this. You trying to skip to the next thing. You trying to get to the goal. You trying to get to the vision. You trying to manifest the vision yourself instead of allowing God to do what he said he's going to do. And it's like, do you have excitement or faith? Like, which one you operate?
Because you know what that just reminded me of, or I mean, not this, something I just heard is anything birthed prematurely has complications. And if we're trying to, if I'm in this relationship and it's good, okay, we need to get married. It's good, let's get married. But we didn't got into it because I assumed marriage would be something else, I guess, in the sense, and not realizing that I lacked some of the skills and the lessons I was supposed to learn in the process of dating you, maybe a little bit longer. But not everybody's story. Like, God tell y'all to move. That's not what I'm saying. But like, you're rushing to it. Oh, God told me quit my job. No. He just said you had a good sales this month with your business. He didn't say quit the job. And just trying to navigate those things. Because it could be anything: marriage, business, job, opportunity. And I agree with Tasha said. Like, God don't give the whole picture, because if he gave me the whole picture, I don't need to consult him for the next step because I got the steps. I don't really need you no more. You gave me the rule book.
You're not depending on him.
1, and now you gotta go back to ask about chapter 2, and then 3. And if he gave you all 10 chapters, you're like, oh, I got it. Matter of fact, I'm not doing 2. I'm gonna go to 7 because I like that chapter better. And now you looking how you looking.
Woo.
So
now you
and the thing about it, whatever was birthed or whatever he told you, even if it was done prematurely, it may live, but it had to go in the NIC unit. It had to go in that premature, it wasn't, you know what I'm saying, the same thing as bringing home a healthy baby that went through the entire gestational period. There is a gestational period for everything that we go through in life that we have to give birth to. Everything. Your dating period is gestational. Building business, gestational. Where y'all were a year ago is not where you are today. For all couples that may be watching this, where you were starting off, that first date, that first, those first phone calls is not where you really begin maturing in that relationship and growing. And again, things begin balancing out. And so things are different. We really have to allow things to evolve. And we don't do that. But we got to realize, because we think that's going to take a long time. Really, the Bible says, they that wait, it's going to happen. Even though it's tarry, it's going to happen quick. That's where the suddenly go. It's quick. It's when what they say, time meets preparation meets opportunity. That's when it happens. It happens, you've been preparing all this time. Bam, there go the opportunity. I'm going with it. I'm going quickly. I'm going, suddenly I'm taking off, so it's just that yin and yang thing,
balance, right?
Balance.
Keep coming back to your original thing. Balance.
It's real good. You got something?
When Angie was talking, I was thinking of, I think we gotta go. Oh, okay. Um, I was thinking about stability, and I was thinking about like the home building process of like laying the foundation, seeing what the blueprint looks like, and getting clarity on like, okay, every wall, every room, you take your time in. And I think a lot of times that's a process, right? Going back to processes, and we love stability, but we don't love processes. So understanding that in order to lay a solid foundation, because when we go into our homes, we never question if it's gonna fall apart.
Right.
Yeah.
So we love stability. So I think the key is
Come on, Tasha.
understanding that stability equals patience. And I think if we let that be a part of our foundation and our truth that we stand on, we can actually move further in life and how we navigate this world. So
Really good.
You said stability equals patience.
That's really good.
yeah.
Stability
That's
comes
good.
from patience, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good.
Really good. Really good.
It's a couple of times that y'all almost laid Pastor out. Y'all probably needed a blanket for her because she did that rock, and I said it felt good to her soul.
I'm like, oh, they going in. And I'm proud of y'all. Y'all talking about stability and patience. And y'all sounded like millennial. Look, old head millennials now.
Okay.
We the TTs and the uncles.
Mhm. Good.
Yeah, you know, we proud of you as well,
That's
Pastor,
right.
Thank you,
Yes,
and everything that you're doing.
Deacon Phil.
right.
All right, y'all. So anything else y'all got on your hearts today that y'all like to share?
No, I'm good. I always enjoy being and hanging around with y'all, just having organic conversations, and just having a platform to be transparent about where we are in the moment. And I'm grateful for platforms like this that allows us to have those conversations, those safe spaces too. And I'm hoping that more people become a part of that movement to have those conversations. Um, and if they don't feel like they have that village, that we here. So we ready, we open arms. You ain't got to be a part of TC to be a part of this village. We just want to, like, hey, come rock with us, hang with us,
Yeah.
chill with us,
Yeah.
and just have a conversation with us, because that's how we grow. We learn from people's experiences. So
As Pastor says, we work better together. Okay.
absolutely.
Yeah.
In community.
We went to a grant thing tonight, and when they were doing the presentation, they was like, Faith Tab got a saying that say we work better together. So shout out to the
That's right.
Shout out to us.
they called Faith Tab, saying that we work better. And they were just talking about collaborating in the community and learning how to collaborate,
Okay.
So yes, we do work better together.
That's good.
Yeah.
All right. All right, y'all. Well, if our hearts are clear for tonight, we go wrap this thing up. And so definitely for the gym team, just want to say thank you, for always an amazing spirit-led conversation. To Pastor Lotz, we just want to thank you for coming on here, being our guest. Is always an honor
For having
and a
me.
pleasure to have you. You
Yeah,
already
thanks
know
for
that.
having me. I enjoy hanging
Yeah.
out with y'all.
Yeah.
Y'all keep me young.
Okay.
Yeah, we appreciate you for sure.
All
And
right,
for
y'all.
all the people in the comments, shout out to all the people that was in the
Yes.
comments that joined.
Yes.
Thank you, Bishop,
Thank
for
you for the
joining.
viewers.
Appreciate you too. Apostle
Yeah, we see
Shipman.
Bishop, Pastor Shipman, everybody. Yeah, thank you all as well too.
Bishop said, where I gotta go
All
tonight?
right,
Where
y'all.
we meeting at for gym? I said, right online, Bishop.
Oh, he thought it was live.
Be comfortable. We online tonight.
Yeah.
He just knew he was outside.
He was ready to be outside.
Yeah. And then, okay, well, to the audience, well, thanks again. And we go holler at y'all next month. Thank
Peace
y'all.
out.
We
Bye,
appreciate it.
y'all.